information, music news, sports, and entertainment. We are High Power 102.7 FM, the pride of the people.
Okay, so I look at you right now. I mean, look at you.
Okay, you can start.
A pleasant morning to you out there, and welcome to another edition of In the Papers, coming to you live from iPower 102.7 FM. And of course, I am Florence Ibarima, and with me on the program is
ABDULRASAQ, Allah, good morning.
Good morning, Razak. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, a paper review program is a program where we'll bring you stories from different newspapers within and across Nigeria. And of course, I will be bringing us stories from This Day newspaper, the Cable newspaper, the Hope newspaper, the Guardian newspaper, and Daily Post from my hand, while my colleague will bring us stories from.
We have the Punch newspaper, we have the Nation newspaper, and the Daily Post newspaper as well.
Okay, and straight into the headlines for today. I'm bringing out stories from the Punch newspaper, which says Ondo bans graduation ceremonies in primary, junior, and secondary schools.
Then moving straight away to the Punch newspaper, we have from the Punch newspaper we have strike threat. ASU freezes decree professors 525,000 naira monthly payment.
Still away from that, we'll go to the Guardian newspaper, where we have the Ondo partner with the United States to boost investment opportunities.
We have from the Punch newspaper as well, Greensby stunned Manchester United in Caribbean Cup upset.
And from the Guardian newspaper, we have federal government orders sealing of illegal FCT gold mining sites.
I'm still on the Punch newspaper. We have Nigerian tax revenue soar. Dangote orders remit 393 billion naira.
Straight to the Tribune newspaper, where we have Governor Uzodinma approves 104,000 minimum wage for Imo workers.
Still on the Punch newspaper, I have the jailed monarch Oshun to obtain U.S. court judgment.
And of course, on This Day newspaper, we have popular apps on opportunity investment flow amid Tinubu visit to Brazil.
Moving straight to the Nation newspaper, I have ASU Unimed rejects renaming of varsity after ex-president Buhari.
And still on This Day newspaper, we have stabilizing the economy and going forward, says Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
And I'm still on the Nation newspaper. I have Gandhi and I working together, says Iluwatda.
Away from This Day and straight to the Guardian newspaper, we have probe begins as Tinubu awaits reports on the Abuja-Kaduna train incident.
And yes, I'm still on the Nation newspaper. We have NIMET predicts flood in Lagos, Kogi, Niger, and 5 others in this week.
Still on the Guardian newspaper, we have Nigeria, China sign $1 million flood relief support deal.
Moving straight to the Daily Post newspaper, I have here with me is a 2027 E is a tool for inclusion. Peter Obi Camp reacts to PDP zoning arrangements.
And straight to This Day newspaper, we have Tinubu banks on tech, food security to boost Nigerians' growth.
And I'm still on the Daily Post newspaper. I have Tinubu arrives in Abuja after 2 weeks state visits to Japan, Brazil.
Away from that, and we're still on This Day newspaper from my end, where I have federal government moves to end ASU crisis. Internal Ministerial Committee meets today.
And that is all the headline we have for you today on today's edition. We'll be going on a short break. When it comes back, we'll give you details of the further stories.
No, you're like, you don't mind that. Second story, man. I don't remember. Let me have it. welcome back. You're still listening to iPower 102.7 FM, and the program is In the Papers. Well, I bring a story from the Punch, which says the Ondo state government has banned private schools from organizing graduation ceremonies for pupils of nursery and primary schools, as well as students of junior secondary schools in the state. The State Commissioner for Education, Professor Igbekele Ajibefun, on Wednesday said this was part of the decision of the state government to sanitize the education sector of the state. According to the Commissioner, other decision includes the prohibition of illegal and unregistered schools, the banning of graduation ceremonies for nursery schools, and the re-accreditation of all private schools for quality assurance. Ajibefun, who spoke with all proprietors and proprietresses of schools in the 18 local government area in Akure, the Ondo State, said the Ondo State Commissioner, Professor Igbekele Ajibefun, declared that the state government was poised to reposition the education sector and was taking deliberate steps to encourage the support of private schools owners through different policies. For details of this story, see the Punch newspaper with the headline Ondo bans graduation ceremonies in primary, junior, and secondary schools.
Yes, and I'll be flying through the Daily Post newspaper that says Tinubu arrived in Abuja after 2 weeks state visits to Japan, Brazil. Now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Abuja, the nation's capital, following his about 2 weeks diplomatic visits to Japan and Brazil. A statement by his senior special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, said the president arrived at the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, at exactly 1:30 a.m. on Thursday morning and was received by top government officials. Daily Post reports that Tinubu first left Abuja for Japan to attend the 9th edition of Tokyo International Conference on African Development. The president then proceeded to Brazil with the view to boosting relations between Nigeria and Brazil. During his visits to Brazil, both countries signed about 5 memorandums of understanding covering several areas including energy, agriculture, and security. For more details of this story, check the Daily Post newspaper with the headline Tinubu arrives in Abuja after 2 weeks state visits to Japan, Brazil.
Ondo partners with the United States to boost investment opportunity. The Ondo state government is set to partner with the United States in a bid to boost investment opportunity. The Ondo State Governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, disclosed this in a statement recently following his visit to the United States Embassy in Abuja. He said, and I quote, "I visited the United States Embassy in Abuja to deepen discussion on investment opportunities in Ondo State. We highlighted strategic projects such as Deepen Seaport, petrochemical hubs, refinery, and agribusiness venture within our free trade zone, all designed to boost Nigeria's economy by easing port congestion in Lagos and positioning Ondo as a major hub for international trade." Ayedatiwa said the United States officials assured him that Ondo State is now on the list of recommended destinations for American investors. For details of this story, see the Guardian newspaper with the headline Ondo partner with the United States to boost investment opportunities.
And sailing through the Punch newspaper, I have the biggest headline we made today. We have a strike threat. ASU fees decrease professors to 525,000 naira monthly pay. Now the news and detail. Following the conclusion of its nationwide protest on Tuesday, members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities are set to hold congresses to decide their next line of action. This comes as the federal government met today to address long-standing agitation over implementation of renegotiated 2009 federal government ASU agreement, which triggered nationwide protests across universities on Tuesday. Earlier this year, the President Bola Tinubu administration released 50 billion naira to settle and earned academic allowances owing to the university's lecturer and staff. However, ASU has consistently demanded clear commitments on improved salaries, condition of service, university funding, autonomy, and a review of law governing the National Universities Commission and the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. To check this story for more information, you can check the Punch newspaper with the headline Strike Threat, ASU Fees Decree Professors 525,000 naira monthly pay.
And straight to the Guardian newspaper, where I have FG order sealing of illegal FCT gold mining site. The Minister of Solid Mineral Development, Dr. Dele Alake, yesterday directed the mining marshal to seal an illegal gold mining site in the Gwagwalada area of the Federal Capital Territory to prevent potential environmental hazard. The directive followed an earlier operation by the marshal on August 16, 2025, which led to the successful recovery and sealing of another illegal mining site around the District 2 extension layout in Gwagwalada. 16 suspects arrested during that operation are set to face prosecution. In a statement, the Minister's Special Assistant on Media, Segun Tomori, disclosed the preliminary investigation, revealing that illegal artisans miners invaded the area after the accidental discovery of a gold vein during a digging of a sockaway pit near the residential property. The most recent incident took place on a farmland behind the CKC in Gwagwalada. It said, upon receiving intelligence reports of renewed unlawful mining activity, Dr. Alake promptly ordered the deployment of mining marshal to secure the site. For details of this story, see the Guardian newspaper with the headline FG order sealing of illegal FCT gold mining sites.
And I'm still on the Punch newspaper today. I have a jailed monarch also to obtain U.S. court judgments and the news and detail. Wherever the Osun State government has said it will obtain the certified true copy of the judgment of a United States court that sentenced the Akpetumodu of Ikpetumodu Obadusef Oloyede to prison over a multi-million dollar COVID-19 relief fraud. The Punch had earlier reported that Oloyede, 62-year-old, a dual citizen of Nigeria and the United States, was on Tuesday sentenced to 56 months in prison by the U.S. District Judge Christopher A. Boyko. He was also ordered to serve 3 years of supervised release and pay over $4 billion in restitution. And according to the U.S. Attorney Office for the Northern District of Ohio, the monarch forfeits his Medina, Ohio home purchased with proceeds of a scheme and an addition of over $96,000 traced to fraud. He was convicted for leading a conspiracy to exploit COVID-19 emergency loan program designed to assist struggling small businesses. To get this story, you can check the Punch newspaper with the headline Jail Monarch or soon to obtain U.S. court judgments.
And straight to the Tribune newspaper, where I have Governor Uzodinma approves 104,000 naira minimum wage for Imo workers. The Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, has approved a new minimum wage of 104,000 naira to civil servants in the state. Raising workers' pay is one of the most boldest wage adjustments in Nigeria. The announcement was made recently during a meeting with leaders of various labor unions at the Government House in Owerri. The approval marked a significant increase from the previous 76,000 naira minimum wage. According to the governor, medical doctors in the state will also see their minimum wage raised from 215,000 naira to 503,000 naira, while lecturers in tertiary institutions will now earn 222,000 naira from the 119,000 naira. He noted that other categories of workers will also benefit from similar adjustments. Explaining the decision, Uzodimma said his administration had to respond to the economic realities faced by citizens since he assumed office in 2020, ranging from insecurity and the COVID-19 pandemic to hardship caused by the subsidy removal and wage disputes. For details of this story, see the Tribune newspaper with the headline Governor Uzodimma approves 104,000 naira minimum wage for Imo workers.
And I'm moving straight to the Nation newspaper where I have NIMET predicts flood in Lagos, Kogi, Niger, and 5 others this week. Now to the detail. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has predicted flood in 8 states between today and Saturday. The states that are likely to experience flood, according to the weatherman, are Niger, Kogi, Benue, Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Cross River, and Ebonyi. NIMET's weather outlook issued yesterday in Abuja on Wednesday by reads, and I quote, on Thursday in northern region, there are some prospect of thunderstorm with moderate rain over part of Borno, Yobe, Gombe, Bauchi, Adamawa, and Taraba states during the mid-morning hours. During the afternoon to evening hours, thunderstorms with moderate rain are expected over most part of Gombe, Bauchi, Jigawa, Taraba, Kaduna, Adamawa, Yobe, and Borno State. And also in North Central, wherever cloudy skies are expected over the region during the morning hour, while thunderstorms with moderate rain are expected over Nasarawa, Benue, Niger, Plateau, and the Federal Capital Territory during the afternoon period. And in southern part, wherever cloudy skies are expected over the region with chances of light rain over part of Cross River and Akwa Ibom states during the morning hours. Later in the afternoon period, intermittent light rain are anticipated over part of River, Bayelsa, Cross River, and Akwa Ibom states. To check the story, for more information, you can check the Nation newspaper with the headline NIMET predict flood in Lagos, Kogi, Niger, and 5 others these weeks.
You're still listening to iPower 102.7 FM, and the program is In the Papers. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll give you the rest of the stories. You're still listening to iPower 102.7 FM, and the program is In the Papers. To reach us with your feedback, you can call the line 0816-552-4699. 0816-552-4699. And straight to this day newspaper, where I have FG moves to end ASU crisis. Internal Ministerial Committee meets today. Now the details. All concerned federal government ministries and agencies will today, Thursday, meet in the Abuja in a bid to resolve the lingering areas of disagreement between the Academic Staff Union of University, ASU, and the government. Several branches of the ASU had on Tuesday staged a coordinated protest across campuses nationwide to press home long-standing demand from the federal government, warning of an imminent strike if government failed to meet their demand. But the Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, told newsmen last night that the Bola Tinubu administration already resolved a number of knotty issues it met when it took over the reign of governance, assuring the lecturers that the matter will be settled in an wholesome manner this time around. In an interview, Alausa noted that he already called a meeting of several ministries and departments, including that of Finance, Labor and Productivity, Budget Office, Solicitors, and General Salary and Wages Commission, among others, to iron out the counter proposal of the one presented by the union. Admitting that the matter had lingered for about 16 years, Alausa noted that this time around, the Tinubu administration will be very meticulous about resolving the pending issues, explaining that when trashed out, the counterproposal will be handed over by the Ahmed Committee. For details of this story, see this day newspaper with the headline, urging moves to end ASU crisis. Internal Ministerial Committee meets today.
And away from that to the Punch newspaper, where I have taxes. Federal government nets 393 billion naira from Dangote and 9 others. Now to the detail. 10 companies listed on the Nigerian exchange remitted a total number of 392.7 billion naira in income taxes to the federal government in the first half of 2025, up from 338.3 billion naira in the corresponding period of 2024, marking a year-on-year increase of 16.1% according to the analysis by the Punch. The company, based on their consolidated statements of the profit or loss and other comprehensive income for the period ended June 30, 2025, and recently filed with the Nigerian Exchange Limited, include Dangote Cement PL Plaza, we have Nestle Nigerian Company, we have Labrage Africa, we have Boak Cement, International Bureau, Julius Berger, Nascon Allied Industry, AUC of Nigeria, we have a Cadbury Company, and others. According to the Academic of Tax Law, income tax is directed levy imposed by the government on the income generated by individuals, corporations, and other entry within a specific jurisdiction. Dangote Cement emerged as the largest contributor to the tax pool, remitting 209.6 billion naira in the first half of 2025, up from 103.1 billion in first half of 2024. The company tax payments nearly double, a 103% increase, underlining the scale of its operation and its central role in supporting government revenue. To get more information on the story, you can check the Punch newspaper with the headline, Taxes, Federal Government nets 393 billion naira from Dangote, 9 others.
Straight to the Guardian newspaper, where I have electricity consumers raise concern over tariff hike, epileptic supply. The electricity consumers, including household and businesses, have expressed concern over periodic increases in electricity tariffs and continued epileptic power supply. They therefore urge the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to enforce service reliability as part of its statutory mandate. The concerns were captured in a survey conducted by the Nigerian Institute of Social and Economic Research and presented yesterday at a seminar in Ibadan, termed Balancing Electricity Tariff and Consumers' Wallet: Insight for Nigerian Household and Firm Ability to Pay. According to the report, households currently receive an average of 10 hours of electricity daily, which is far below the 20-hour benchmark promised by the service provider. At the same time, monthly grid electricity expenditure had surged from 17,647.49 naira to 34,942.02 kobo in naira, representing at about 98% increase. The report noted household and firm can barely cope with the major shifts that occurred when Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission introduced a supplementary tariff review for Band A consumers. For details of this story, see the Guardian newspaper with the headline, The Consumers Raise Concern Over Tariff Hike and Epileptic Supply.
And moving on with the story from the Nation newspaper, the headline, ASU Unimed rejects renaming of varsity after ex-President Buhari. To the detail. The University of Maiduguri Unimed chapter of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has opposed the federal government's decision to rename the institution after former President Muhammadu Buhari, The union, through its Unimate chairman, Dr. Abubakar Michel Saidu, told reporters yesterday in Maiduguri after a Congress meeting that the government's action was proactive, unacceptable, and deeply offensive to the values of the academic freedom, institutional integrity, and democratic governance. According to Dr. Saidu, the move is a blatant disagreed for universities' autonomy and academic freedom. He argued that the universities is, however, the name of Maiduguri is not just a label but an identity rooted in decades of scholars, sacrifice, and service to the Northeast and Nigeria at large. To get information on the story, for more details, you can check the Nation newspaper with the headline ASU Unimed reject renaming of varsity after ex-President Buhari.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's edition of In the Papers on iPower 102.7 FM. I am Florence Ibarema, and my colleague is
ABDULRASAQ Alawi.
Good morning.
The best station in music news, sports, and entertainment. We are high power.